It is pretty difficult to speak to the internet without a microphone, Sean. I have to say.
Not for you.
Well,
You can speak to the internet.
I mean the language of memes is universal. You know, that's the thing. You can go anywhere and you can communicate.
Can you do a meme with your face without talking? Can you pull off a meme?
He's doing it right now.
Come on. Can you do? Is that a meme? What meme is it?
If it's not a meme, I'm.
What memes
Mate.
can't I do is a better question.
You're the meme master. We still never told that story about how you were born, the In Control story.
I think that's either In Control or Tasteless for the Not Safe for Work version story to tell.
It's a very good story.
Yeah.
We'll wait until In Control's around. Until
Thanius was born.
Oh, it's a very good story.
Yeah, well,
It's a very good story. Did you hear it?
Save it for another
Did you
time,
hear it?
lads.
Save it for another time.
Okay. It's good.
Yeah.
Next game, though, is pretty cool.
That's also good, I would say.
TLO versus Lilbow. In a
Yeah.
very important match, me and Ben were just looking at what it means for both players in terms of their standings and where they are. Lilbow is currently 3 wins and 1 loss at top of the group. TLO is 2-2. So a loss for TLO would put him 2-3, unlikely to advance. So this is a big game. But if he wins, he goes 3-2, also forcing Lilbow to 3 wins and 2 losses, which then really complicates the group a little bit because we got a lot of ties.
Well,
Everyone's kind of 3-2.
But if they're tied, then the head-to-head matchup should give him the edge.
Over Lilbow, but Lilbow also has, if others were tied up, 3-2, Nurchio, TY, who are also looking in that direction. You know, Lilbow has a head-to-head win over TY and Nurchio, like two really...
Yeah. Ben, say something smart.
Well, what really messed up this group is the fact that Majestic beat Lilbow.
Yes.
And Majestic is now also 2-2. In fact, and he has to play TY.
Right. No, Majestic is 2-1
He's
currently.
2-1? Wow, that's...
I think. And he has, because you said he had the game in hand.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So he has a game in hand, and I think it's TY and Nurchio he plays are the two left. I think.
It's a tight
So it's
group.
really tight.
Yeah.
Really close.
Coming down to the wire.
Yeah. You can see the standings of kind of where we're looking at the moment.
It's kind of cool to see that
So
both
Lilbow
these
is
groups-
definitely 3-1, by the way, because that result just came in. Lilbow is 3-1 for sure, which means Bunny is 0-4. That's the only other thing that's not up to date.
Curious to see how Group C is going to finish up, too.
Yes. Yeah, Petrit Drogo's in trouble, obviously, at the bottom. But that, again, very close. These groups are always going to be very close, though. We always said that.
Just glad that so far it looks like for all the Terrans out there like us that like to whine, you know, you can be that guy that says, okay, Bomber looks like so far he's the only Terran that's made it to the top bracket. Although I would be surprised if TY was actually eliminated at this stage.
TY plays his last game is Majestic. That's where Ben was going down. Is that TY's last game is Majestic, which technically he should win. But
Majestic is surprised, man.
Yeah, that's 2-1. That's great in the group of death, literal group of death. It's a great result so far.
Yeah. It's cool to see that Koreans aren't immortal either. Like the first 2 groups that we saw, like Parding, he lost 3 maps, sure. Yeah. But then Solar looked untouchable.
He didn't lose a single map.
And then straight away in this group, you had people, Bomber, who did he beat immediately? With the Sandster?
Yes.
Then he lost to Firecake, which is like, whoa. Yes. And then TY lost 2 games, like 2 best of 3s. And it feels weird to harp on about it, but it just shows you that some of these guys, and the Korean Terrans, they're the guys that we all fear, or have feared throughout the whole of StarCraft 2, but yeah, they aren't unfathomable.
Well, that's the thing, right, with Koreans over the years and years and years of RTS games, is eventually, when the game figures itself out, and they can grind out the edges slowly and surely, that's when they become the best. But at the start of a game, when everyone's trying to figure it out, they aren't necessarally the best as fast as possible, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily, though.
I mean, look at
and,
the very
Happy
start of
was talking about it, you know, maybe a little bit of difference as well between Bomber and TY. Bomber is always known for having quite different builds from everyone else.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe part of the reason why he's so far with a better score than TY is, just to compare the 2 of them.
Yeah, don't find it super surprising. It's always interesting because this being the first like official Legacy of the Void tournament after release, as far as like big Premier Offline ones go. this is the one where you would expect that to happen, where you would expect to see those big upsets. You guys have been, of course, sharing a lot of your feedback on who you think's going to make it out of these groups. TY is actually on the ropes. Keep letting us know your feedback, and of course, you can still stay in the running to win some sweet prizes from our sponsor, ROCCAT. Make sure to tweet with the hashtag DHW15 as well as hashtag SetTheRules, and you could win a new mouse, some sweet gear. But guys, it's time to get into the next series, Lilbow versus TLO. Have at it.
Thank you, Nate. You are the best, man. Good to be here. Our shirts are very similar. Someone did mention it earlier. What color are you planning to wear tomorrow? I have purple and black.
Could be white. Could be
you got white.
Light blue.
Oh, you got light blue. Okay, so maybe we're not going to match anymore. I got purple and black.
We could match. We could go full black.
You got black too?
Yeah, but it's quite dark here.
Tomorrow is...
we can merge with the background. We
tomorrow
be like
is
the Dark
Black
Templar.
Friday. Yeah, that's tomorrow's Black Friday. We could wear our black shirts for Black Friday.
Yeah,
could.
Make those handsome faces stand out.
Yeah,
cheeky.
That's the thing with wearing black clothes. We're always cheeky, Calaris. We're already pale-skinned. Black clothing doesn't really help out too much. We're almost ready. I can see over there TLO's screen from when he was looking back at us, giving us the finger swag when we were talking about reading Team Liquid forums. But he's loading into the game versus Lilbow. Heart of the Swarm, favouring Lilbow.
Yeah,
pretty much all the time. Now in Legacy, still? Or more even?
No, everything's been changed up. PvC as we knew it is completely out the window. Force fields, Blink Stalkers, they used to be the core of European PvC. And now everything has changed, pretty much because of the Ravager. So,
you excited for this then?
Very excited for this.
Should be a cool game, and obviously great to watch a teammate play. Taking out.
A little bit biased here and there, but I did get to spend a lot of time with Lilbow as well in China. He's a very funny character.
He is. He's very blunt.
Yeah, he's very direct.
I mean, you see what he's like in the interviews. He's like, the way that he's so typically French and the way that he answers is he's exactly the same all the time.
Like it is.
He's
very direct.
Yeah, he is, and I think that he's got strong chances to do well in this tournament, but a lot of it actually hinges on the performance now against TLO to make sure he can escape from group stages, which we're hoping to see possible. But yeah, tell us a little bit about your trip with him in China. What did you do? You got out for food together?
We went out for food. We met up with some friends there. Went out with Leifeng, the online cup organizer that hosts the league there. Went to a lot of different places. Got to experience some very nice food there, like spicy hot pot. Lilbow liked the seafood. We traded dinners.
Oh, you traded. Okay, so he paid for you, you paid for him. Who came out on top, or was it fully even?
Pretty even.
Pretty even or even?
I don't keep track, man.
Ah, these pro gamers don't keep track of who owes who meals.
But I do keep track of our ladder records.
Who's winning that?
Probably Lilbow.
Well, don't worry. You're back in Europe now. You're going to get back on that ladder. You haven't played too much, right, in Europe? I mean, you played a little bit and then straight over to China.
Lilbow and I ran into each other, but since we were playing the same tournament over there, we didn't really want to practice too much with each other, and for the most part, we just practiced against other players on the Korean and Taiwanese servers. So.
Did you help him against his Zerg opponents, like in terms of
we talked a little bit, but we also made a lot of fun about it, that against Ravagers, you just can't be helped. So
can't be helped.
So you can't do much,
I still load in that game for some reason.
Had a bit of mixed feelings, like should I help Lilbow beat IA, for example, or should I let IA win? And it's a little bit of trickery going on there, You got to be a bit strategic about it if you want to make it far. And Lilbow and I, since we were both playing the same tournament, we just do what pro gamers pretty much always do. They just don't custom game with each other on the tournament if they might face each other.
Hang out with each other, but don't play with each other is the bottom line here. But we're loaded in to what it seems the last game of the official stream here at DreamHack for day 1 of 3. Down here in the bottom right-hand side, a lovely spin there, Flo. Thank you for your work. It is the Red Zone player, Liquid TLO.
The Wunderwunsch.
The Wunderwunsch.
Looking ready for action with some very solid win rates against Zerg and Protoss.
Removing emotions would be more efficient, he said before. And up here to the top right-hand side, there's the blue Protoss player. It is Le Baguette Lilbow.
Representing France with that Millennium swag.
Yeah. new Orange sponsorship. It's funny because Orange, it used to be called Orange in the UK, but it switched to EE. But I'm still surprised they still have the same name in France, actually. I'm sure maybe some other English people can relate to that, but...
A little bit of a conservative opening. And TLO was clicking the minerals. We could actually see the indicator there that TLO was clicking the minerals and reading that it was less than 1500. So he knows that Lilbow spawned in the top and did not reveal the Overlord. But still though, he's going for a bit of a conservative opening. Not going for that triple hatch before pull right away, but doing like Solar did in his CVT game.
Yeah.
Going for that horizontal third base. It's not that common, honestly. But since he got the Lucky Scout first, it makes perfect sense to do this.
So did you manage to pick up a lot of Lilbow's Protoss versus Zerg? I mean, we've heard a lot about his build orders in terms of going for disruptors and opening up Nexus first a lot, but did you get anything from it, any info? How he likes to play?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not sure if I can really talk about it too much in detail, but what I can say from the matches that he actually played against IA and Jaedong, there was a lot of aggressive stuff, utilizing Blink Stalker timings with a few disruptors in the mix. Just making a few disruptors, using the Warp Prism to drop the disruptor, cause economic damage, cause a lot of trouble for the Zerg, and then follow it up with a third base lightly saturated. Not going all the way to 66 probes, for example, just very, very lightly, and then just going for a massive Blink Stalker attack, much like in Heart of the Swarm. And he was able to take down Jaedong. Almost made it look easy, 3-0 against Jaedong. So
yes,
Lilbow is by no means a weak player in PvC right now in Legacy, despite so many Protoss players saying they have an issue with going up against Zerg.
Yeah, he's always liked playing against Zerg, Lilbow has, and continuing that through into this game. By the way, I mean, we talked a little bit about being first place and going through in first. Sometimes in groups that doesn't mean as much as this tournament does. Going through in first place automatically top 6 in the tournament, which is $2,000 banked, but also much less games over the next few days. I think you play one game tomorrow, just one best of 5 and then rest, and then day 3 you come back again and play the semi and then potentially the grand final. So it is a much easier life, and Lilbow would be first place, no doubt. Wins this game, 4 wins, 1 loss, you're first place.
Then we see the Twilight Council, so no Robo just yet. So probably not going to go for that Disruptor drop. Just some very heavy Stalker pressure, knowing that TLO took this third base that's a little bit exposed. It's a little bit more difficult for TLO to get his slow Queens over here. But there's no parting pylons here. They could have been.
Well,
but oh, there we go.
There we go.
There we go. The
Two
offensive pylons, the spirit of parting. They've been sitting next to each other, right?
They have done. You should build pylons. Alright.
Alright then. Will it be cancelled though? I don't feel like this is a very invested attack, and it's almost like TLO is calling Lilbow out on this, but the pylons do finish.
And he did keep them. Dark Shrine behind this as well for Lilbow, who's going to try to pressure in between these bases. Obviously the pylons at the back are going to be fallback pylons. He's going to find a queen, and he does snipe it down.
He's so exposed though. I think he might go down.
Oh, he tries to recall.
Whoa. Woo! Loses the Stalker for it, and the 2 pylons are now completely exposed. So I don't agree with being this ambitious on creep. I don't think this was a great move at all for Lilbow, and it's going to backfire quite a bit.
What was a better situation there? Recalling or not recalling, losing the mothership, and then fighting with the Stalkers? This is the best of what he could have done?
Yeah, after finding himself in such a position, then definitely I do think so.
Okay.
Right, but ideally, you don't want to be in a spot like that in the first place. You just want to overcharge those pylons, stay back and be conservative. But you know, Lilbow likes to test the waters, be a bit more aggressive then.
Does he have another pylon somewhere? Because the Dark Shrine's about to finish, so...
It does not seem like it.
No, you got Stalker caught here as well. A couple of mistakes in a row here from Lilbow, allowing TLO some easy pickups in a 30 supply lead. But yeah, I don't think there is a pylon anywhere, so it's only from the other side of the map. Layer is almost done as well.
Now. Question is where though. We'll see in a little bit.
There you go. 3 DTs.
In base. There's no proxy pylon on the map. And TLO's creep spread is developing nicely. Look at this. He's putting down these blind safety spores. Going for a Baneling Nest, that's a bit confusing. And I don't know if you saw the shade there, but the spores are on the way. And if TLO has the army, if he has the links to catch these, then these DTs are going to accomplish nothing at all.
Well, it's just 1 Spore Crawler at the back, 1 Spore Crawler in the second here as well.
Sees more Blink Stalkers, so you might as well make more Zerglings. Those are going to deal very well with these DTs as well.
Here come the DTs, and I think he may have seen it. He sees it. And he grabs one of these DTs, going to get kicked off, and he's going to stop the other one from going inside the main as well. Oh, no. No, oh, I'm not sure if that's the second or third one, but either way, he's into the mineral line.
And look at Lilbow, he's just going for it. It's going to be a 2-base all-in. I'm not sure if TLO is prepared for this. He's at 57 workers, but he also invested in the Spire, and there's a lot of overgas as well. I'm not sure if TLO has the production to deal with this, but for now it seems to be going relatively okay. Gets the probe, gets the pylon.
There's another pylon up there, though.
Is there a War Prism as well? No, there's no Robo, right?
No Robo.
Just a blink, 2-base blink all-in with a failed DT. Can Lilbow make this work, though?
Lilbow's so aggressive every single game, taking out Overlord left and right here that were loosely positioned or waypointed out. He gets a full wraparound though, TLO goes for the chase, but
forces a blink, but now TLO is supply blocked, and all of a sudden it's looking very bad for the German player here.
17 Stalkers, Time Warp coming down on the ramp in between the second and the third. Queen
gets the Spore as well. This could enable Lilbow to actually get a few DTs in the mix as well. Yep, although probably at this point it's just going to be brute force, raw power. Lilbow with his trademark blink control, blinking away here. Actually has a few Stalkers getting caught here. Not the best control, but it should still be fine.
Okay, well, we'll see. TLO trying to take this down.
I would have loved to see the drone pull. Drone pull would have been very helpful in this situation. A couple of Stalkers running off in the third, actually going to get picked off. And I think TLO is actually doing this.
He is. He's destroying these units slowly. The Zerglings do have that +1 attack melee.
I feel like
stealing damage from the sky as well.
Lilbow really overstepped on creep there. He could have easily blinked down on the north end side of this third base where there was no creep, but instead just overstayed, and I'm not sure where he goes from here. Is he going to make DTs? Is it just going to keep making Stalkers?
Well, here we go. TLO going to chase these down once again. Mutalisk starting to rise in numbers as well.
Don't want to overextend there, TLO. This is a little bit dangerous, but for now, the numbers just seem to be so overwhelming, and I think these Zerglings have the +1 melee upgrade as well.
Yes, they do.
And that makes them so much stronger here. Just an incredibly solid hold here from TLO.
More and more Zerglings flooding across here. If Lilbow loses this position, he loses the game. It's as easy as that, and he is going to lose it. GG. TLO takes map number 1 against Lilbow.
And it's not going to be easy here for Lilbow so far.
And TLO, who is on the brink of elimination, if he was to lose this game, this series, it would be 2 wins and 3 losses in the group stage. A victory would push him to 3 wins and 2 losses. And of course, Lilbow sitting pretty at the top of the group, but not so pretty in this series. That was a Lilbow-esque game. It's kind of his style. It
absolutely was.
But it wasn't the best game. There was a lot of mistakes that led to his eventual attack, which he wasn't in the position he would have liked to have been in.
Some very uncharacteristic, like splitting up the army and losing a few Stalkers here and there, and the Mothership Core early on. That's 100 gas down the drain. That could have been 2 more Stalkers, you know? That much gas.
Yep.
All of those mistakes just added up, and TLO, it looked very scary for a while, but then TLO also capitalized very well on the mistakes that Lilbow made. Lilbow sent some units behind the mineral line, they got caught, a few reinforcements that didn't join up with the main army in time, just staying at the wrong place, staying on creep, and just didn't really work out.
I liked TLO, I mean, it's pretty standard, I suppose, for you, but I did like seeing TLO's Zergling movement. Tries to get a wraparound on the Stalkers, and then preemptively moves Zerglings ready for their next jump to wrap around straight away.
Yeah.
I like that. That's nice to see, man.
So small, nice moves that you want to do.
Do you do those moves often?
I try
to.
But it's difficult to be as smooth as TLO. He has this special...
He does. He has
oily Zerglings.
He has the way with the keyboard. He's just now getting into lobby number 2. If you were Coach Liquid, Coach Snoop for Team Liquid, would you even bother going up to say anything to him now? Probably not, right?
At first, the defense looked a little bit shaky.
Would you say that to him?
Right now, at this point, I would say something along the lines of, don't make too many drones.
I know, you
just keep making units, because Lilbow is going to attack into you at some point or another, so make units.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like Lilbow is inclined to go for some sort of 4-base play, so... Would probably just, if I was in Dario's shoes, would just keep making units. Think like a Korean, just make more army, and then the strongest army wins, right?
It's that simple, this game.
It's that simple.
I know a lot of people watching, obviously massive fans of yourself and your play. Here's something for them. Watching these guys play, you've got to be... There must be a feeling inside you as the competitor you still are, saying, God, I wish I was playing.
No, I played last week. So
it's okay. You don't feel like you could be jumping over there and beating these guys up.
I'll do it later.
It's their time to have a tournament without me.
Let them have it. I'll get them later.
Do you know what your next event is?
Nation Wars.
Oh,
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Everyone's pretty hyped for this.
Yeah. I can't remember who's in your group now. It's
Ukraine.
Ukraine. Do you have the Asian groups? The Asian teams, right? China and Taiwan.
Yeah.
You looking forward to that?
Yeah. Last Nation Wars was a lot of fun.
Yeah. 2-time champion up here.
Yeah.
Who's the captain for your team? Have you decided yet?
Targa.
It was Targa last time too, right?
Targa has always been the captain, so he's going to keep doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Who's your third is the same guy again, right?
Aiki.
Aiki. Dude, I bet he loved his time in France last time, right?
I was very happy to see Aiki pull off that all kill.
Dude,
it's just one of those moments that makes StarCraft so special.
And hopefully we can see some more of that. But
we're going to see some more moments here at the Legacy of the Void Championship here at DreamHack. Spawning in the top of Dusk Towers, and it's Liquid TLO. TLO, the Wonder Wunsch.
The Wunderwunsch.
The creative mastermind.
No one is as creative as he is.
And totally devoid of any emotion whatsoever.
Hates emotions. And then down here to the south side, as the blue Protoss player on Dusk Towers is, of course, a Lilbow, the #1 ranked player of all non-Koreans in WCS in 2015. You finished rank 2, right? I suppose outside of Korea. Was it rank 2 or 3? You were second.
In WCS?
Was Bunny ahead of you? You were ahead of Bunny, I think.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
It was you, then Bunny, I think, right? And then
and then maybe
TLO, actually.
Mana, TLO, something. Maybe Mana actually caught up because of the second place.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of points to gain there from that second place finish.
All right, so Nexus first again here by Lilbow.
And I like this triple hatchery before spawning pool, even making more drones. So the spawning pool is going to be quite late.
Have you run into a lot of cannon rushes at all in this game? Because 3 hatch is kind of common, so is Nexus first.
There's been a few, but I feel like if you're going to YOLO, as Lilbow would say, I think proxy gateway is also really, really, really good on a map like this. For example, you could proxy... You see, TLO's Overlord is at his own 4th base, I believe, a little bit in the south.
Yeah.
Like this position is a normal location for proxy gates, and I think that's why TLO sent the Overlord here.
Okay.
But so far, I haven't seen Lilbow really cheesing a whole lot. But I think Cannon Rush is far from as strong as it used to be. The map layout, it doesn't really matter that much for Zerg.
Okay.
If a base is Cannon Rush, you can make the Ravagers, kill the pylon, you outrange it. You can go for a counter circling drop, you can just take another base, and the warp gate is so late, it's just... Opening Forge is not as good as it used to be.
Okay. Well, Lilbow has poked in with his probe, obviously he's now left, but did see the 3 hatch opening. So may start to craft a strategy around this, if he can. We'll see what he decides to do now the Cybernetics core is finishing up. He does have quite a bit of gas in the bank too. He's going to start off with 2 Stalkers again, like he did in the previous time. Mothership core behind it. So far, very similar, and I would imagine if he did it last game when it wasn't 3 hatch before, surely he'd want to do it now.
The most important thing about this is the map layout and the gas timing of the Zerg, and it's not too different from the previous game in the sense that TLO played gasless in both these games. So there's only going to be queens, there's going to be slowlings, but yeah, with triple hatch before pool, you can usually afford a little bit more queens, a little bit more drones, and there's going to be creep as well. And I'm not sure if I agree with Lilbow's decision here, simply because of the map layout. It's running up the ramp towards the 3rd base. Where are you going to put the pylons? Where are you going to drop the pylon overcharge? And dealing with the high ground vision as well, moving stalkers up and down, it just seems a little bit weird to me.
He's still kind of boosting into them. He's getting another, the 5th and 6th
So he
Stalker.
finds the spot for this pylon, and looking very aggressive so far.
Oh, I couldn't get the second pylon there, so it's just a single one on the high ground. There is one just below it.
And where's the mothership core though? Is there even the mothership core?
I think it's trailing right behind. There it
should
is.
be right now.
Yeah.
But losing that pylon on the high ground is so bad because you lose the high ground vision. Obviously the mothership core is there now, but you can't really be in the Zerg's face like it would be on Ceres, where you block the space between the 3rd and the mothership core.
Not again. TLO takes it again there. And he does kill one queen.
Lilbow.
He's killed 2 queens. He's going for a 3rd here. Lilbow going to lose a Stalker for it, though. That was not necessary at all.
But like losing the Mothership Core and the Stalker just for a queen.
It's 3 queens.
It's not great at all. Like, I'm really concerned for Lilbow because he invested in so many Stalkers, and if there's no Mothership Core, you can't recall these links. If TLO kept making links, and if he had a few more, these Stalkers would be in so much trouble. They don't have Blink. There's no recall. They only have the support of 1 pylon and barely has Warp Gate with it. It's like, it's so difficult.
Well, he has retreated with these Stalkers, and the 3rd Nexus is now halfway complete. Forge, Twilight Council completing at the same time. Robotics facility inside the main base. We slapped down all 3 different tech structures, in a way, an upgrade structure.
Going into the Robo, it could be, most likely it's going to be some sort of Warp Prism play. We'll still have to see if we're going to see Disruptors. There's just going to be a very Lilbow-esque Warp Prism Blink Stalker attack. Need to wait and see for that, but either way, TLO with the melee upgrade is so smart against what Lilbow has shown so far. Lots of Stalkers probably means it's either a Blink Stalker all-in, or it's going to be a Stalker-centric build. Something that has a lot of Stalkers, and what goes with the Stalkers? Well, Disruptors or Phoenix, and versus Phoenix, then melee links are fantastic. You can go into Ultras. I mean, this is just a very clever response from TLO against Stalker Disruptor as well. This is going to be perfect. And the Spire to deal with the War Prism as well. Actually making an Observer is Lilbow, and adding multiple gates as well. And as we see again, not really saturating that 3rd all that much. Lilbow is really cutting probes a lot here.
Smells like another attack here, Snoot.
It does indeed. No Disruptor, no Robo base, so it's going to be the War Prism and the trademark Lilbow Blink Stalker attack.
Okay, well, we saw how TLO dealt with it in the last game. Obviously, he was in a bit of a better position at that time by the attack arriving.
And
here we go again.
6 Overlords at a time. That's a very clear indicator that TLO has no interest in making any further drones right now. He's just ready to pump units and not worry about Overlords. Maybe a few too many though. I surely hope that TLO's production is up to par, because right now there's only 4 hatcheries, and with the ways that the inject changed, the larva inject changed from Heart of the Swarm to Legacy of the Void, you only get 3 larva instead of 4. So TLO's production is taking a little bit of a hit here, and I'm a bit concerned. Running at 69 drones might be a little too much.
Well, TLO does know this attack is coming. He's seen the mass amount of gateways on that natural, or 3rd base should I say. He's preparing his own natural. 13 Mutalisks to join the +1 melee attack Zerglings. They're not here yet, as you can see. As Lilbow starts the parade, a few Zerglings attack from the south, but they're not going to do anything here. They get a wrap around on 2 of the Backstalkers, but hardly even kill one. They
but TLO snipes the Prism. The Prism is down, so Lilbow cannot reinforce easily. That's going to be massive for TLO. He can actually evacuate this 3rd base.
Well,
pull into the main. He doesn't have to fight here, but he chooses to go for it anyway.
Yeah, there's 4 queens here. Quite a lot of Mutalisks, and more and more units on the way, but are there too many Stalkers here? Good control by Lilbow. Is starting to deal critical amounts of damage to TLO, who is just missing the high amount of Zerglings that he's had in the other game. And that is it. GG is called, and Lilbow will strike with force.
I feel like
does take it.
I feel like the position Lilbow was in no way. It didn't feel like he was massively ahead from the way the opening played out. Lost the Mothership Call, lost with Stalkers, and the build itself that Lilbow opened with, it's not a very economic build. So just TLO getting very caught off guard there by the timing that Lilbow did.
Yeah.
Not something you would expect. I think TLO was preparing for the longer game, expecting Disruptors, something to come out of this Robo, and it just...
Nothing's happening, nothing's coming out
of it.
Except
for the Blink Stalker train. Choo-choo.
What do you think about Lilbow's approach to this series in general, though? Obviously, as a pro gamer, you have a plan overall about how you're going to tackle this guy, but it's pretty aggressive, it's pretty direct in what he's trying to achieve here, and it's just attack with Stalkers.
You know, it's how he played in Heart of the Swarm as well, and it's brought him so much success.
Yeah.
So I honestly think it's a good approach. Like if it's working, then keep doing it. But I think it's also a little bit in the details. If TLO just stays on a bit of a lower drone count, so he can get those Zerglings out. Yeah. Maybe not invest so heavily into the gas and the Muta. Just try to keep it a bit more simple. Then he should be able to shut down Blink Stalkers very easily, because the Warpin the War Prism is of course very strong, but if you actually snipe it, the reinforcement time for Protoss is so heavily nerfed compared to Heart of the Swarm.
But I mean, let's go back to that fight for a second as TLO is taking a few seconds to look at the game, or at least think about the game. Was it the right decision for him? Because you said during the cast that maybe it wasn't the time to fight there.
Yeah, I
Should he
believe
have waited more, pull in the drones?
I think after the War Prism fell, I didn't see any proxy pylons nearby either. So I think at that stage, it probably would be wisest to evacuate the third. But even then, you're in a little bit of a rough spot. And I think the mistakes actually happened a few minutes prior when TLO was not getting that macro hatchery, for example, or just making too many drones. That's a lot of larvae that go into drones, maybe 15, that could be 30 Zerglings, you know. And then all of a sudden, if you have those extra 30 Zerglings, your army looks so different. So sure, the micro and the tactical movement in the defense is one thing, but also the way that TLO laid out his build just was too greedy, to put it like that, against a player like Lilbow, who is so sharp and so crisp with his timings.
And I'm sure that's what we'll be expecting coming into map 3 here. Not sure which map it is exactly, but we'll find out very shortly as we are almost ready to begin. The game is loading, and from my very squinty eyes...
Is it Larry-like?
No, I'm going to guess it's the gold-based map. I think it's Prion Terraces.
Yeah, looks a bit like it.
I guess we'll find out. That game has loaded. Let's jump right in. And my squinty eyes have given me success today. Down here on the south side of this map, it is, of course, Team Liquid's TLO. Big win for him here. We put him, as mentioned, 3 wins and 2 losses in his group.
And looking to top the group, from France, playing for Team Millennium, is Lilbow. Winning this map would secure him first place in the group. Yeah,
alongside Solar from Group B and Parting from Group A.
That would put him in the top 6 of this tournament immediately, securing $2,000.
Correct.
So this would mean quite a lot for Lilbow to be able to secure that right here.
He would play Lilbow against one of the other first place players in the upper bracket game tomorrow. I'm not sure which one it is, though. I actually do not know that. If it's a player from Group C, B, or A. But no problem.
We'll find out eventually. As TLO is going for the hatch first to the gold, and I think he's going to go for the hatch, the triple hatchery to the gold base as well.
No, Dario.
So many gold bases. Gotta take them all.
Gotta take them all, man. There's a lot more to go if he wants to keep expanding. The probe now from Lilbow is going to have a quick look-see.
Sees the gold, but there's not really a whole lot he can do, because Lilbow has been greedy himself, not going for the gold base, just the standard natural, going for the double gases, just straight up macro play. So we're going to see both players just power up early on, and we'll see from there if Lilbow is the one to take some sort of initiative and try to disrupt TLO's mining. That's also possible with the Adept and the Stalker. So there we have it. Double gateway. We're going to see some sort of Stalker pressure or maybe some Adepts.
How do you think TLO's been dealing with the Stalker pressure so far in Game 1 and
Very
Game
well.
2? Pretty well, right?
Yeah, sure, he lost a couple of queens in the second game, but aside from that, I feel like he's done quite a lot of things right. Still, even when he was under pressure, he didn't overreact, didn't make too many Zerglings, and didn't really take that much damage to his technology. He just kept progressing despite being under pressure, and I think he did a very good job.
Okay, so with the 2 gold bases, you're a Zerg player, you got 2 gold bases. You don't need as many drones as you would do in a regular game because the income's a lot higher on these bases. Where would you branch off now? If you were in TLO's head, trying to think how he likes to play, where would you go?
I'm not sure if I can think like TLO does here, but if...
What makes the most sense then as a Zerg from this point? What seems to make the most sense?
It depends a lot on who you're up against, but I guess someone like Lilbow, who is so aggressive, at this point I would probably just think to myself that, okay, at some point Lilbow is going to attack into me. So I would just maybe prepare some Ravagers, maybe Zerglings again, but just not make too many investments into technology, for example. Not get those 6 gases, really power up units, even if it feels a bit earlier than usual. You have those gold bases, so you don't need to overextend.
Well, this was the map where we saw Parting play a lot earlier on during the day, almost 12 hours ago now, where he built 3 pylons just outside the bases here, and then put pressure on with Stalkers, and of course supported by this. And it looks very similar, perhaps here by Lilbow, who's added on a lot of extra gateways very early on. And there is a pylon. The creep spread is great, by the way, denying that forward pylon access.
This is so far away from where Lilbow wants to be with this.
Yeah, he ideally want to be where the queens are right now, but
yeah, this creep tuber is such a well-placed creep tuber here, and that's going to slow Lilbow's advance. But 2 more gates, 3 more gates, going up to 4 gates in total, and more Blink Stalkers on the way. He's just going to go for a lot of Stalkers, and I'm not even sure if he's getting blinked this time. Is he just going to do it with...
I think it's just pure gateway.
Regular Stalkers? Yeah, there's the offensive warp gates.
Oh my god, he's got a gateway there!
He's just going to make Stalkers.
Why not?
Without blink.
Why not? Here we go, the first little fight.
TLO though is making more drones, so that's not the right call right now. You just want to be making speedlings alone, and that's going to be enough.
Well, he's got a pylon at the front door there. Queen's starting to take the fight
the
against the
Queen's
Mothership Core, and it goes down again.
But losing a lot of Queens fight. I'm not sure if that was the best decision here.
24 Zerglings are on the way.
TLO has to hit his injects right now. Maybe even drop some spines. I like that he's not going beyond 2 gases. He will have enough money, enough minerals to just drop whatever he needs. But he has to keep it simple right now. He's getting in lair and +1 started. I'm not sure if that's the right call right now. You're being all in.
Well, he's going to take the fight, and he takes down a couple of these Stalkers, and he takes down some of these Bat ones, and he's going to take 3, 4, 5 at the back there. And TLO.
This is terrible for Lilbow.
Lilbow's in a lot of trouble. He warps in Zealous last minute here, but there's still so many Zerglings on the way. And TLO against the #1 player in WCS in 2015, come Legacy of the Void, is looking like he's about to take this 2-1. All he's got to do is stop this attack. It is an all-in at this point. There's a gateway and 2 pylons on the other side of the map. And that is it. The forces are being taken down slowly but surely, and only Lings are on the way to push this back. An excellent, excellent hold by TLO.
Yeah, you know it's a bad day when Lings are defeating Zealots. That's not supposed to happen, but here it actually is happening. And TLO even has the Spire on the way. There's no way that Lilbow possibly can come back from this.
Yeah.
What do you think? Can we see another Lilbow crazy follow-up?
I don't know. If TLO starts droning heavily, perhaps, but very stubborn Lilbow here comes and continues to warp in, returns with his mothership to Photon Overcharge that pylon to keep the hope of this game alive for him, because it is only units still being made by Lilbow. And the Queens come back for another attack on the mothership core. A good wraparound from these Zerglings, take down the pylon, and it seems that they're going to take down the rest of these units slowly but surely, as Lilbow once again stands resilient, but with no reinforcement pylon close at all anymore. This eventually is going to get worn down, and again, the mothership core is taken down by the German, and he's going to hold this position.
Lilbow is not ready to give up just yet though. Robo transition on the way, but TLO Spire is already complete.
Not the highest amount of gas in the bank, but I'm not sure that's a big problem for him right now, as this is a fantastic position, a dream position to be in. And remember, TLO needs this win. If he loses this series, I'm pretty sure he's looking like he's going to be eliminated from DreamHack Winter, but he keeps his hopes alive. And from this position, I guess you've got a grin on your face. You're like, all right, let's hit my lava injects. Let's keep building my units. Things going really well.
Just gotta keep your cool and don't overextend in the wrong direction. Like now, TLO is getting the +2 and the +1 carapace, which is nice. But Lilbow doesn't even have a forge.
Remember Lilbow versus TY, anybody?
Yeah, exactly. And what is Lilbow? What's in Lilbow's production tab right now? Adepts.
Well, you know what Adepts can't do?
We'll see though.
They can't shoot upwards.
The BM Mutalisk are coming in, and at this point...
What do you do?
What do you do?
Lilbow's like, no!
Please, run faster.
I wanted to be first place in this group. I really wanted to be top 6 immediately, but...
And they're going to teleport into this swarm.
Of Queens and Zerglings and Mutalisks and everything else, aside from the kitchen sink, has been thrown Lilbow's way, and that was pushed back. First attack has failed for Lilbow, second attack failed for Lilbow, and TLO takes that 2-1, and that is a big victory for him, as he now is 3 wins and 2 losses in group stage and finishes his games. Lilbow also on 3 wins and 2 losses. If these guys were tied for a position through, Lilbow would advance on top. I mean, TLO would advance on top due to the head-to-head result here, so that is a big, big win for him. Joined on the desk again by the Devil Terran, Muslim, and the
memester.
the meme Terran, Nate. Hello.
Hi.
That was a cool series.
Yeah, it was. It was a very interesting set of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void games.
And salvage of the group situation here for TLO, who's going up against obviously a very difficult opponent, but manages to get the win and keeps his group tournament alive.
Very important for him, of course. Doesn't want to be eliminated at this stage. It's there's a lot on the line. It was a really impressively played series. The way he responded, I think, in the Ruins of Ceres game was really good getting this round. And I think it's really important to mention again, like that +1 for the Lings is so big when you get the surrounds on those Stalkers.
That was good. So you enjoy the series, mate?
I did. It kind of makes me worry a little bit about Lilbow's PVZ. He kind of wants to rush it out and just win as soon as he can. Maybe he knows he's already through the group, right?
He should
regardless.
be. He should be. It's not confirmed, but he should be.
I mean, first place does actually mean a lot, so I don't think he was in a position where he's just like, oh, yeah, whatever, I'm through. Because, yeah, you play so... I'm struggling. So many fewer games. I'm just going to pull a snoot there. But, yeah, so I don't think he gave away those games, but it makes me think that, yeah, he was worried about Solar earlier, and I think for good reason. I don't think his reaction to Zerg is quite as good as it could be.
Yeah, basically trying to kill the Zergs as early as possible, and I'm not sure if it's the best approach, because once you know that the Protoss player likes to play like this, we're essentially back to the Swarmhouse days where you just need to defend and then you automatically win pretty much. And by playing like this and not having any alternatives that you can actually present as a problem to Zerg, like maybe say switching between attacking and switching between Sky Protoss, for example, or some sort of Disruptor Stalker play off of 3 bases, just playing macro games. If you don't have the variety, I feel like it's almost too easy to counter Lilbow right now, but he can still have more strategies up his sleeve. Maybe he's hiding something. We don't know.
Maybe
he's hiding some dank meme strategies as well, Apollo.
Saving him just for you in the later stages of this tournament.
Well, that's all I want. All I also want is to hear what dank memes TLO has as he's over with Smix. Let's hear what he has to say.
Let's find out indeed. Congratulations, Dario. I'm sure you're super, super happy to win this final match of the day, of course. It means that you have a very strong chance. I'm not sure exactly how it'll all pan out, but now that you are 3-2, obviously it means, you know, you have a really good chance of making it onto the brackets. But overall, first of all, initial thoughts.
Feels good. I'm allowing myself feelings now because today is over. Yeah.
All right, well, when we talked before, you were saying that your strategy was going to be the no-feels strat because you thought that, you know, having no feelings is an advantage. And then, of course, you went on to play TY, and you lost 0-2. So what happened there? Did you get too emotional?
Well, in hindsight, I'm upset about it because I feel I could have made it to the semis directly as first place because I felt very strong against Lilbow. So I wasn't too worried that I'm going to get eliminated, but I'd like to be in the semifinals, and now I'm not going to be. Well, I might, but it's going to be a longer path.
Okay, wait a minute. You said that you felt very strong against Lilbow, and now why is that? And I also want to add on to this question. You guys had some cheeky banter that happened on Twitter a little while back. I'm wondering if that had anything to do with your incentive or confidence headed into that match against him.
Well, while playing it, I didn't think about it at all. I was maybe hoping that it would affect him, that because I know it's a lot of pressure once you talk big like that, because I've done so in the past at the start of my career, and that always fired back badly to me. So now I'm, you know, I didn't feel about it. You know, as I said earlier, I just wanted to beat him. And I would have been really upset if I lost now, but going into the match, I don't think. Maybe I felt I have a little bit of an edge because of it, because I've been playing longer. He's by far the more achieved player, but I played more tournaments and I have more experience when it comes to dealing with feelings like that, I feel.
So are you saying that's the reason why you felt strong headed up against him, because of your experience?
That, and the ZvP is definitely favoring Zerg right now. I would.
Oh, so honest there.
Well, and also the maps, you know, helped a little bit. I felt a little bit, you know, when I saw that he's not vetoing prior on terraces, I knew I'm just going to have to hold an all in, because I don't think it's... Well, it's possible to win as Protoss there, but not with the style Lilbow plays.
And now I want to talk about what this win and this last match means on a lot of different levels. First of all, it means that a very, very strong chance on making it to brackets tomorrow. I mean, like I said, I'm not sure how it'll all pan out. But beyond today, beyond this tournament, Lilbow is obviously, as you just said, a player that has more notable achievements. You obviously have been a StarCraft 2 player from the very beginning, so everyone knows who you are. They've known you, they've cheered for you, you've always been a big fan favorite. However, that hasn't always translated to the results. So with Legacy of the Void, do you feel like this can be the moment for you to change that pace?
Well, I feel I'm on a steady climb towards my goals. When I started years ago, I thought it would be much easier to make it to the peak, make it to Mount Gosu on the top of it. But you know, I'm more optimistic than ever. Legacy is definitely a game that fits me much more than Heart of the Swarm, because Heart of the Swarm, in the end, was a little bit of a chore to me, to be honest. But Legacy is much more chaotic. You can multitask more things are happening. So I hope it's not gonna settle, and it's only because of the start. But I think Legacy is gonna be a great game for me.
All right, then. Well, thank you very much, Dario. Looking forward to hopefully seeing you tomorrow in the brackets. And of course, that will wrap up the tournament area for day 1. We have all the players that will move on, the 12 players that will move on to day 2 finalized. Unfortunately, that does mean 12 players are eliminated. But let's take a look at everything that's happened so far with our troll standing over there, Nathanias.
I don't know why anyone would think I'm a troll.
I have no idea what she's on about.
I'm insulted.
She called you a troll as well. It wasn't even just a straight-up troll. It was like the actual troll.
The Norwegian troll.
Norwegian
You
troll.
could totally be one.
Suddenly I'm Norwegian. Scandinavia is pretty cool. I'm okay with that.
You do like Scandinavia, more
I do.
specifically Sweden. I didn't know you're a massive fan.
man. First thing
Julmust.
Julmust and
the chocolate.
The chocolate, man. It's all good. It's all really good, actually. I wish I could get that where I live. I'm not even joking. But yeah, great day of StarCraft, by the way. Can I just get a favorite moment from each of you?
Woo. That's a tough one, to be honest.
I think one of my personal favorites was Lilbow versus TY. Just the adept pushing forward and finally breaking it.
How many times does that happen to you on ladder, where you're just like, the Protoss like kind of punches you early, and then it's like 30 adepts like, well, there's nothing I can do now.
I mean, when adepts had quite a bit more health, it happened every game to me.
Okay, fair enough.
But it's definitely frustrating. Like,
you feel so powerless. That's what happens to me. Like, you get into this, you try to take that third base, you don't have that wall to hide behind, and then
it takes so long to get good at it, or good against it too, because I mean, TY made quite a few mistakes where he opened his wall. So I mean, even though Lilbow's push eventually did kill him, TY was definitely making mistakes. But yeah, you never really feel you get better against that, because all it takes is one move out that's totally wrong, and then you get totally surrounded. But favorite series or?
I thought about it, unless you were still going on it.
No, you go.
Okay, I'll give you some time. I really enjoyed, I think the best map I saw today, or most enjoyed map, I think the All-In series was great, but I really enjoyed Semper versus Solar Game 2.
Oh.
On Ruins of Therese, even though Semper lost, I really liked such a bad position he was in, to slowly crawl back into the game to gain a lead, but not quite being able to be ready for the Ultras. I thought that was a really cool game.
Especially as underrated of a player. You know, I mean, at least he doesn't have any results. He's not a player with a lot of prestige, and he gave Solar a bit of a run for his money.
Yeah, I really like that.
I also enjoyed Semper against a laser, because I've never seen so many Ultras run under so many Liberators.
Was a good series
it was like an assault course for the Ultras in which they all failed.
Yeah.
It's like, how do we lose the game when his bio can't kill our units?
I love the interview.
All into the freedom zones.
Yeah, the interview afterwards too. Laser's like, yeah, European Terrans don't really make a lot of Liberators, so I didn't know what to do. So, and then he's like, but it wasn't what I did. And then there was quite a funny reaction as well.
Yeah, that's. I really enjoyed the Semper series myself. Watching the craziness of the PvT, I think, is also always. I'm a bit of a masochist, so I'm all about that. It's been a great day of games, so we're gonna have 12 players going into tomorrow. Do you guys have favorites?
Solar.
Okay, you're not allowed to say Solar. You guys have any favorites?
I was about to say Solar. Still a favorite. I think Powering looks convincing. I think Powering has a lot of things prepared. So
you know what?
Thanks.
Why?
Haven't yet seen a Nurtio game either.
Lie.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if Nurtio will actually make it out of the
That's
group.
the thing. It's not fully decided.
Well, he
which
could
12
finish
will go through
first,
yet.
potentially.
That's true.
He's
That's
got
true.
2 games in hand. That's so sick. Like, he's 2 wins, 1 loss with 2 games in hand. It's majestic, and I think treat Drogo, perhaps?
Yeah.
I'm not sure,
All right.
but he's in a good position to go through first. Not
Maybe
treat
Bunny.
Drogo. Maybe Bunny.
And he's already kind of on tilt, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
There will be a lot more StarCraft to come, of course, tomorrow and the day after as we get to finding out who the first Premier Champion for StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void will be. Of course, throughout the course of the day, even after we're done here, keep your tweets coming in. Make sure to tweet at the hashtag #SetTheRules and hashtag DHW15. Let us know how you're watching, who you want to win, how much you're enjoying our memes, and you can have a chance to win some sweet swag, courtesy of our sponsor, ROCCAT, putting together the prize pool of $50,000 for the first Legacy of the Void tournament. Not bad at all. Any final thoughts out of you guys before we wrap it up?
I think you just about covered it all,
You covered it all,
Nathanius.
mate.
All right. We will see you guys tomorrow, bright and early, to close out the loser bracket and get ourselves a top 4, top 8 player list.